What's going on, guys? We are officially live on Facebook. We're going live on YouTube. We're doing a live episode, live recording of the podcast today. So, as you guys see, I have some. Not going to use my earphones because I don't like these earphones or anything. But so we're going officially live and everything. So we're streaming on YouTube. We're recording. So I'm actually pretty excited and everything for all of this new equipment I have. I'm actually pretty thankful for it. I'm choosing to use Bluetooth earphones today. So let's make sure that all of the microphones and everything. What's going on, Micah? That's mad far. I have to reach mad far for that. I got to get that thing set up. So anyway, I'm actually pretty excited to be doing today's live on fucking Zoom over live. So we're streaming live, Facebook, YouTube. It's the first time I've been using this. I guess now kind of like a Tuka talk because I have gotten so much stuff now. Oh my God, I should have had my lighter. God dang, 47. I got like this new thing for my laptop. Oh, there it is. So I've been making a lot of moves and everything, guys. So I'm pretty excited about what we have going on. I'm probably gonna start doing some giveaways. I gave away like $3 on one of my lives. So, not a lot, nothing crazy. I'm not no David Dorbick right now or anything, but you feel me? It's getting to be what it is. You feel me? So now that YouTube's going heavy, I'm gonna be blasting my YouTube. So obviously I'm gonna be telling you guys to follow the YouTube and everything. But I'm really enjoying like the setup too. So when I go live, it looks nice. Unfortunately, as you guys know, I'm an Android person. I prefer Samsung over everything. Samsung or die. But it's come to my attention that I need an iPhone, which really sucks. It really sucks. So, since I'm only live streaming, I can put this up on my desk, my little desk thing, which I have. So my phone's right there. See, I got like all this new cool stuff and gadgets I'm getting courtesy of the business. It helps me work better. Why does it help me work better? Because I am excited about when you enjoy what you do, right? You're excited about the work that happens. You feel me? You're excited. And I'm excited about the work that I do. And so that was why I had it right here. Oh, I can just bring it closer. That's why. Because I like using this thing. However, if you're too far from the camera, the Zoom doesn't pick up, as a black person won't pick up my hair type of thing. It's crazy. So you always got to make sure you got to do extra stuff as black people. So this is what I use for my outline right now. I usually use my phone before, but now that I'm going live on Facebook, because I felt like doing Facebook and YouTube would have been too much for my computer right now. It's only an Air, and I feel like I really do need that extra processing now. So like as I get more into work, I really am starting to recognize the differences in different laptops. Like as a kid, yeah, you can use whatever laptop because you're only doing but so much, probably just some homework and research. And when you think about it, really almost any computer can do that. But once you start getting into things like if you were a software developer, if you were someone that did computers, if you were someone that did like audio engineering and stuff like that, then you start realizing the differences in technology and everything. So, but we're gonna get into doing a podcast. You feel me? Today's Wednesday. Oh my gosh, I have not done a podcast in forever. Okay, so that's what we're doing. I need to get like a little thing. You feel me? So let's get this going. Dang. I know y'all can't see what's going on, but y'all can't hear it, but just the light. There we go. I like that better. All right. What's up, Ramblers? Oh no, I'm wildin'. What's going on, Ramblers? Welcome back to another wonderful episode of the Ramblings. I'm your host, Angelo Roberts Jr., and today is Wednesday. And I have a bunch of questions. Before I even get into anything, really, I just want to let you guys know that we are streaming live on YouTube, we are streaming live on Facebook, and I am extremely excited for everything that has been going on over the past week, over the past like 3 days, not even really a week, over the past like 3 days. Offsource, the company that I've been building and everything and working on, has really been making some progressive like leads. I've got some new equipment for podcasting. We've been getting some leads. We're having meetings lined up. So things are really starting to go on the up and up. We have unlocked our full funding amounts. So things are going pretty well. And I'm pretty excited to say. So it's in all of this, in all of like getting back into podcasting and everything, it's really led me to think and have like a question. I want to ask you guys a question, which is the question I was going to ask you guys earlier. How fast can you make a decision, and how fast can you correct it when that decision is wrong? And the reason I'm asking that is because it feels like I just don't know which decisions to make. Because as a CEO, as an owner, and even just in life in general, you have so many like options that you're going to have to choose from every day. I think you have to make an option. And some people have more options and even worse options than others. The choices that we have to make are not even equal in comparison to other people's choices. So on a specific level, I'm I guess asking, which is something I was doing with my networking meeting, is how fast can you make decisions? And how fast do you correct those decisions when you're wrong? Because it's not like you're going to be 100% right. I mean, yeah, you can make a choice and it can be right. That's fine. Turns out well. However, when you make a decision and it turns out to be the wrong decision, how do you react? How fast are you able to change course and adapt? Because this question poses an important thought. Everyone fails, right? Everyone without doubt fails. There's no way you can't go in life without having some form of an L or some form of fail, right? So where does anyone have the ability to say you are wrong for failing, right? I just want to think about that for a second. Everyone likes to point the finger, everyone likes to say, oh, this is how you could have did better. Oh, this is how you could have did better. Oh, this is what you're doing wrong. This is what you're doing wrong. This is what I would do in that situation. Newsflash, nobody cares what you would do in that situation, because guess what? You're not in that situation. And 9 times out of 10, most people fold in those situations. Most people, when put in a situation that they have never been put in and never have had at least where the principle matters. People say, oh, my grandmother died. And someone might be, oh, that's sad, and then try to say, this is how I would deal with it. So take the action to plan the next step to do better. Right. But I think that we have to stop judging ourselves so that we can stop judging others. When we are pointing the finger saying, oh, we're critiquing, when we're always spending a lot of time critiquing, there's a little thing I've heard before. When you point the finger like this, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you, which almost principally goes to say that for every mistake, every critique that you point out in someone else, means that you are now bringing 3 different critiques onto you, because you have to look at what you are good at and what you're not good at. Are you you are so focused on someone else is mistakes that you are hedging and tripping over your own. It doesn't make any sense. So we have to stop focusing on other people's actions, especially because we don't have any control over it. So when you're wrong about something, fix it. Because that's, I guess, the bottom line. How fast, when you realize you're going down the wrong path, do you fix what it is that you're doing? It can baffle me, the length of time that people spend knowing that what they did was wrong, knowing that the decision that they made is not the correct decision, and yet continue along the path hard-headedly, stupidly. When you recognize that what you did was wrong, or that path you chose was incorrect. You need to immediately say, hey, listen, I need to divert this and go do something else. This was not working, so let's do something else. How fast are you able to do that though? Because some people, because they're consistently judging and critiquing other people on how incorrectly they are and how what they didn't do worked out, what they did not work out, they are hell-bent on trying to make what they did the right decision, where it's like, oh, I wasn't really wrong. I wasn't really wrong. Let me show you and go and dig this hole even deeper and put myself on a path of ignorance for the purpose of trying to prove a point that is not there because you were incorrect. So as a business owner, as a CEO, as an entrepreneur, as a person going through life, admitting when you're wrong is important, but changing actions is even more important. It's importanter. Oh, I thought I had a meeting. Whew. I had a notification. That happens, guys. So it is importanter. That's not a real word, but it is the most important of the two things. One, to admit you're wrong, but it's more important to then change the actions, because a changed action is the best apology. So you can say sorry all you want, but if there's no action, then you weren't really sorry. I personally, now, this is just a personal thing, obviously, I would much rather someone not apologize, but make the active change. You feel me? I would rather someone, try to throw it under the bridge and make the active change in their actions than apologizing without changing. So when people have that, you have to recognize someone's ability to adapt, someone's ability to say, hey, this did not work. The decision I made was wrong. We now have to move on, go on to the next thing. You understand? Because what you're like, the only way that you're going to get out of what you're doing is stop. Because when you're in an action, it's not like it's a word, right? When you say something, it's only apologizing. You shouldn't say it again. You can kind of avoid that, right? But when you have a way of thinking, which affects how you move, which affects how you act, it means you are going to continue acting and then continue making bad decisions because of that. So as a CEO and entrepreneur, it is your duty to recognize when something isn't working and when to hit the brakes and stop. Now, there's a flip side to every single coin. You reckon? Flip side to every coin, right? As a CEO and entrepreneur business owner, you also have to recognize when to keep going. Because here's the thing, no one's right and no one's wrong. In most situations, you cannot tell beforehand what is right and what is wrong, unless it comes to something moral, obviously, guys. Morality is completely different. But a lot of the decisions that you're going to make as a business owner are only going to be determined if they're successful or not based on the actions and how you execute those actions. This is what I mean. A lot of companies have tried to do, which company I want to pick? Craigslist, right? Let's use Craigslist. Craigslist is a classifieds ads. Plenty of companies have tried to take out Craigslist, but they have not. Craigslist still stands. It is robust. It is not UI friendly. It is almost scary because you're like, oh, I can get kidnapped from this. It is not the safest website to use, yet it is the king of classified ads. Millions of monthly active users. People are up there because there is a purpose. They have buyers and then they have sellers. So if you were the company trying to, take out Craigslist, we're not saying that it's impossible. No one's going to tell you, do not try to take out Craigslist, that it's not outdated, that someone can't do Craigslist better, because Craigslist can absolutely be done 100% better. The question is, are you going to be the person to do it? So when you are going and you have an idea and you have an action, your action is only verified, is only substantiated by the results. So if you have an action The only way to prove if that action worked is by the results in the future, which is why you don't hear business owners, you know, talking about what is now, because now doesn't necessarily matter. Nothing happens in the now. Anything that happens now was something that was set in motion previously. Think about that. That's why when you hear business owners talk, they talk and have 1, 2, 3, 5, 10-year plans. The reason being is because living in the present gets you nowhere. Living in the present gets you absolutely nowhere. You can enjoy it, it's whatever, but it gets you financially and in the game of life nowhere. Because everything that happens is something that was set in motion before. So if it wasn't previously set in motion, it's not going to happen. Now, the trick is people feel like, oh, it's instantaneous for certain people, certain things. No, what they did was they set in motion a plan to make whatever further future plans happen faster. I'll break it down for you guys. I don't think about tomorrow. I don't think about today. I could really care. I am very emotionless about the day. I really don't care what day or how the day is going to go, because I recognize and I have a goal for the future. And I've always had a goal for the future. So when you always have a goal for the future, think of it like a timeline, right? We're going to start here. You want to go to here. The gap in between here and here sucks. So I'm going to plan to get to this gap. That's the first plan. While I am on my way to this gap, a lot of people take a mental break. People say, I came up with a plan. I'm going to execute this plan. So I'm going to go from here to here. And I'm not going to think about anything else while I go to this point and achieve this goal, because they're focused on achieving this goal. That's fine and dandy. You have to remember, when you have a goal, you're going from here to here. And because it's life, you have to go here, 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 and here. So what's the easiest way I think about it is I'm going to go from here to here. But while on my way to this point, I am thinking, mentally using my energy to come up with plans for the points after I hit this point. So as I get to this point, I am already thinking about point 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Why? Because when I get to point 1, I don't have to think about getting to point 2. I already thought about getting to point 2. So now I have to get to point 3, but I've already thought about how to get to point 7. So I don't have to expel energy thinking about the right now. Because when you have to expel energy thinking about the right now, that is the most energy you're going to use, because it has to happen right now. You are trying to have your brain go from a long-term thinking process, because we live years. You're going to live 80 something years, right? And your brain by nature is wired to think like that. I have X amount of time. That's why you guys feel like, oh, I can play around. I have all of this time to get my stuff together, because your brain and you're naturally hardwired to recognize and understand I have time. And then when you hit a certain point biologically, your biological clock, it lets you know, dang, it's time to get my ish together. You have to overcome that. You have to say, you know what, biological clock, I'm not going to listen to you. We're going to speed this thing up. Start thinking about 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, right? Start thinking about those. Expel the mental energy to think about the future. Now, it is extremely hard for people that have to think about the now and the future. That is double the energy. I'm not going to discount the fact that that is something that has to happen, you know? So when you have to deal with the mental energy of going, dealing with the now of things and the future, that's it. You have to focus on both. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's no, coddling about it. It sucks. You feel me? It absolutely 100% that 100% positively sucks. Some people are in a situation in which they have to think about the now and the later. Some people are having to think about the now, just the later. Some people are only thinking about the now and consistently only thinking about the now, which is consistently using the most energy. It uses a lot of energy to think about now and later, but it uses the most energy to think about now throughout time, throughout consistently. That is the most mentally draining because you're always going to be in the state of now, now, now. Whereas if you can get mentally into the now, you use that energy, and then get into the later of things. So now you've covered now and later. The goal is to then just have to think about the later. Just consistently think about the later because you're always going to get to that point. If I think 5 years ahead, right? Every day is a new 5 year point. Tomorrow, we're going to be 5 years from that 5 year point. So it's November 11th. 5 years ago, it would be 2015, November 11th. Tomorrow would be 5 years ago from November 12th. So every single day sets a new record, if you will, because every day is a new day, and every day that's a new day is a new point from from the same point or a different point. So if you were to take a time lapse of 1 year and start on November 11th, and then move that year to November 15th, you now have a new time lapse year, November 14th to November 14th, not November 11th to November 11th. If that makes sense. I know, I ramble, but that's just really what's been on my mind lately. And I wanted to kind of share that with you guys and